So first thing I want to say is welcome. Thanks for coming to play today with us. And I'm Jennifer, and Felicitas is my assistant, and she's our moderator today. So if you have any techie questions like Alan, your one you had, then just those go to Felicitas. And our structure today is that we're going to be having moving experiences, and then we're going to process or share as a group or with your partner. We'll do a partnered exercise as well. And Marcia, you and I will be left alone to talk amongst ourselves during that. And you never have to participate in anything we do. You can always opt out, but please just let us know, me and Felicitas. And if you are participating, please don't leave your partner mid-experiment. That's the other one. Welcome, Marie. I'm doing some intros, so you're in time. Some of the things we're doing today might feel silly or revealing. And because of that, I want to recognize that takes a level of vulnerability. So I'm asking that we care for ourselves today and for each other during these experiences. And know that you can interrupt me like now or anytime when I'm speaking and ask questions. You can use the little hand wavy thing, or you can just unmute yourself and speak up. I like to hear you.
And if you're not comfortable speaking out, you can always privately chat me or Jennifer, or you can just chat everyone as well with your question.
Yeah. And today is a little condensed version of what we're going to be doing, Felicitas and I, together for the intensive workshop that starts in October 2nd. Mm-hmm. So, and you won't get your voices heard as much today because of the condensed time, but know that in the workshop, the reason it's 2 hours at a time is that specifically to make time for each of you to be seen and heard. Oh, hi, Marilyn. Welcome. Great.
And you all might notice that currently the session is being recorded, but that recording will stop when you go into your experiments, because that we want to keep that as an intimate and safe space for you to experience that together. So just know that this recording is only for this introduction part happening.
Yeah, thank you. That's important. So today we'll be discovering what we're feeling and communicating through movement with each other all the time. It's not pre-verbal, it's subverbal, even in this medium. Sound, movement is happening between us. And we're expressing ourselves and feeling and responding to each other. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to wake up our kinesthesia. So that's the feeling of your self movements. And we're doing that as a way to present options that may not have been felt before. It's a way of increasing a sense of connection to yourself as well as feeling connected to a greater whole. The idea being that when I diminish my movements, I diminish my aliveness and my ability to take you in. So we're going to be expanding our repertoire, feeling yourself and how you're moving with each other. That's the first thing we'll do. And then we'll go into looking, listening, and feeling for the meaning of the movement. And that requires attention and time. So we're going to, first of all, do the fun, goofy thing to wake up our kinesthesia as a group. And for this, I call this the menagerie. We're going to be different animals. And I may be posing questions to you. I'm not expecting you to answer during it, but we're going to come together at the end, and I really want to hear from you then. Oh, and welcome, Jessica. You just came, we're about to go be animals, so just in time. So for this, would you please take off your shoes if you're comfortable? I want you to be able to feel the ground. Socks, bare feet is fine. And you don't have to have a lot of space. And if you want to do it in your chair, you're welcome to. And if you want to move around your space, you're also welcome to do that. You don't need much space, just enough to maybe open your arms out. So here we go into the menagerie. And we'll be moving out of frame and in frame, doesn't matter, but if you can kind of see each other and we can see you in and out. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to be bears waking up from a long hibernation. So take your time and start to feel yourself just waking up after a long time of sleep. Feel your weight, how heavy or light you feel. Feel how the ground feels under your feet. Notice how quickly or slowly you move. Look around your world. How does this world look to you as a sleepy bear? Feel your fuzziness. You have all the qualities of a bear just waking up. And for a moment, as you move around, take a look at each other and just notice how we appear to you. Notice the level of intensity in your body, your tempo. And we're going to transition now from sleepy bears to hummingbirds. So, hummingbird movement. You are a hummingbird. Notice how light or heavy you feel now as you move as a hummingbird. Are your movements gradual or abrupt? And as a hummingbird, go ahead and pause for a moment. Pause, you're lit on a branch, and notice their level of intensity in your body here. Does this feel familiar to you? Unfamiliar? Notice your breathing. And get ready to move again. You're still a hummingbird. Look around your world now as a hummingbird. Does it look different than when you were a sleepy bear? Are you lighter, heavier? And from hummingbird, you move into a snake. We are snakes. Moving, slithering. Notice how the floor receives you now. Does it feel different than when you were a hummingbird? And as you slither through your world, imagine that you see your dinner, your prey. You set yourself into a coil to get ready to strike. And your strike place, you pause and feel your strike. Feel this pause. Notice your weight here. If you can see us in your strike, notice how we appear to you as you get ready to pounce. And instead of pouncing, you are going to dissolve and reform as swans. We are swans, floating. And as you move as a swan with all the qualities of a swan, look around your world again. What's possible for you in this world as a swan? Is it different than when you were a sleepy bear? Is this familiar to you? Notice how tall or short you feel here. How heavy or light. And as a swan, make your way back to us with your chair or however you want to come to us. But still as a swan, can you join us as a swan? And just for a moment, as swans, take a look at each other. Is this how we appeared to you before? And for a moment now, go ahead and find your butt in your chair or wherever you want to be, feet on the floor, and just close your eyes. Or look down if you don't want to close your eyes. And when we open our eyes, we're going to reappear magically as ourselves. Notice how heavy or light you feel on the floor or in your chair. And then go ahead and however you want to open your eyes, open your eyes. And now is when I want to hear from you. And my question for you is, did you notice a difference in what felt possible for you when you were moving with different qualities? Did we or your world appear different to you? Did you feel different in it? I'm sorry to shorten now, but I want to lead you into the next experiment. Know that in the workshop, we would have abundant time for this. And I'm so delighted by how forthcoming you are that I can feel you with me. So thank you. Yeah, this is, you've all been speaking about how in movement, I discover how I am, who I am, where I am. So we're going to do this next experiment, which is with partners. And this one is very slow. And Felicitas and I are going to demo it. And if you want, you can pin us or you can just watch the two of us. We'll only be seeing each other in that moment. And then later you'll just be seeing your partner when you're in breakout room. And I call this one the wordless conversation, which we know is already happening. But what you want is either sitting or standing. You want to be able to see your partner's head and torso. So at least kind of something like this. I know I'm looking down, but however it's going to be. And the first thing you're going to do is decide between you who's going to go first. So Felicitas, how about you? Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, great. And I'm going to be narrating as we do this. But the idea here is to slow ourselves down so that we can notice. It appears that we're still, but we're noticing the movements going through us as well as between us. And instead of doing the first movement that I would do, or Felicitas would do to respond, you take the time to notice what's emerging in you. And Felicitas is going to slowly make a gesture towards me, which is about what she feels right now with me. And I give myself time to take in this new shape between us. How I receive her gesture and how I want to respond. And instead of doing my first response, I allow myself to stay with the feeling and see what emerges. So when I start to move, I don't actually know where I'm going to end up. And we stay and we feel that. And Felicitas is going to respond one more time to what she feels has developed. We're feeling how we're shaping ourselves to each other. How do we choose to be with each other? And then I respond one more time from there. Again, not knowing where I'm going to end up. And from here, you let whatever has developed between you fade out. Take your time. And then you're going to come together to process and speak about what happened between you. And you'll still be alone in your breakout room. And I have some special questions for you to consider after you're done, which Felicitas will put in the chat, but I will tell them to you as well. Before I tell them to you, I want to check, is that clear? What you're going to be doing? Any questions? Okay. And you saw what I meant about slow. Eat slow.
Will you
And
tell us who starts?
the what?
Who starts, that's between us.
You get to decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pattern should be person A, person B responds, person A responds to them, and person B responds to them. So a total of 4 exchanges. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the questions, I am putting them into the chat here. And when you go to your breakout rooms, they will disappear. So you will have to copy them right now if you can do that.
And if you forget, it's okay. I think whatever you discuss together will be really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say them out loud just so you can have them in you, which is, did you feel anything anywhere in particular in your body? And by that, I mean, I'll give an example. When Felicitas moved her head, I noticed that I started to incline my head, but I also felt a warmth growing in my chest, right here. How would you describe that sensation? Is there a metaphor like when I describe a sensation here, it felt like a flower blooming. Could be that you feel a storm merging or a squeezing. And then another question is, does that feeling have a meaning for you? And so those are the 3 questions. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do is we all evaluate ourselves and compare ourselves. And as much as you can with this is let yourself wonder about what is instead of changing it or evaluating it.
We are reaching towards and receiving each other all the time. And it's nice to hear you, each of you, describe how your perceiving body, you become aware of it. And it's nicely, the Amanda and Jessica, that sense of I become aware, I feel myself with and through you. So thank you.